Om Mahaganapataye Namaha. In this video, I'm going to share with you a four-step process that combines the science and technology of Joe Dispenza with Dr. Pillai to accelerate manifestation to entirely new levels. I will say that using this technique on the very first day, within less than 24 hours, I was able to manifest a new luxury apartment in downtown Portland, in a high-end part of Portland, right on the waterfront, a place that I have been searching for many, many weeks, looking at hundreds of properties. All happened in one day. And I was able to also, within a few hours after that, manifest a $450 raise that allowed me to actually live in this place. Now I'm going to get into that story just very briefly to give you a little bit of an idea of what's possible and why I'm sharing this technique. And then immediately after that, I'm going to get into the four-step process. The fourth step just came to me prior to making this video, and I am very, very excited about it. Okay, so what happened was I had been in a rut. Was in a rut being defined as I was feeling it more difficult to remain positive and aligned with the beautiful future self that I was trying to create. I was in sort of a valley. And one morning I woke up, and this is after watching some Joe Dispenza videos the night before, or just recently before that, and I decided to try this thing that came to me. And after doing that, all this stuff started happening. Number one, I told you about I've been forced to move out of my house for a couple different reasons, and I decided I want to live in the city, and it have to be north of where I'm at now, for other various reasons. So I literally looked from places from Northern California all the way to Canada, and I could not find it. It was either out of my budget, they didn't accept dogs, or they did accept dogs, and it was breed restrictions. They didn't have a washer and dryer in the unit. The property was not great. It wasn't something I loved, and all it just was I wasn't able to find anything. I've been looking for a long, long time. The only thing that I did different on this morning was what I'm about to teach you, and I found this place, and I said it wasn't a place where like, oh, that could work. Oh, that's kind of nice. I guess I can make that happen. I actually like this place. It was everything that I wanted. All these different conditions that I wanted, and even more, this place had it. And so I called them on the phone, and I was talking to them, and I didn't know this before I called them. She said, the woman I was talking to says, you know what's funny? I said, what? She goes, this place is named after you. I said, what do you mean? She says, it's called the Irving. I was like, what? My last name is Irving. So the apartment building is named one thing, but each of the floor plans all have their own different name. This place was called the Irving. And so I was like immediately like, oh my God, this is the miracle. It finally happened. This is God's way of saying this is the place. And so a few hours later, I call my boss, who's my friend also, and she happens to be living in Mount Shasta. And I say, I think I found the place, but I got to drive to Portland, which is about 6 hours away from where I live now. I got to drive to Portland and go check this place out and go secure it, because what I've been seeing is the nice places, they come on and they're off the market very, very short amount of time. So I wanted to go out there, verify that this place was legit, and then, get the ball rolling so I can put in my application and get the lease filled out. She says, yeah, that's fine. You can, go do that. And then, oh, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you, we're going to be giving you a $450 raise. I said, what? That's incredible. And so what a miraculous timing. You think it's a coincidence that the only thing that I did different was this technique, and on that very day itself, within hours, I find the place I have been looking for weeks after looking at probably hundreds of properties. And then I call my boss, she gives me time off of work and a $450 raise, which turns out, because the way it works in the city is, although the baseline rent was in my budget, because of costs like parking, because of costs like renting furniture and all this other stuff, it inflates the price. So it turns out, after I had crunched the numbers, that this raise allowed me to live in this place comfortably, without having to live to the point where my budget would be so tight that I wouldn't have been able to do anything, and it wouldn't have even been worth it for me to live there. Is it a coincidence that all this stuff lined up like this? I don't think so. I could go on and talk about more about the place and all the miracles of the features of this apartment. I'm going to stop myself because it's going to be too long, but it's incredible. So, the technique. What you're going to do is, let's close our eyes, and I'll take you through the technique. and then I'll walk you through some of the explanation as well, and then I will ask us to open our eyes after that, and then I will go through a quick debrief and recap, and then end the video. So close your eyes, allow yourself to settle in, and give yourself permission to drop your thoughts for a few moments to learn this technique that you can use and benefit from right away. Step number 1, pull all of your attention into the space in between your two eyebrows. Focus your attention in that space. Now, with your right hand, using your right ring finger or your right pinky finger, you're going to tap a line beginning at that space in between your two eyebrows vertically to the top center of your head. As you're tapping that line, keep the dots very close so you're not making big jumps going up. So tap out a very condensed line, and once you get to the top of your head, take your time. Allow your hand to fall back into your lap. Step number 2, focus on that line. Feel that line. Pull all of your attentional energy into that line. Now, while holding on to the line, you're going to associate that line with a thought. And that thought is a thought that you want to manifest said in present tense. For example, I am making $9,000 per month. Now, think that thought into the line so that the line and the thought merge into one. So you are associating that line with the thought itself. They become one. As you feel the line, the thought is there. Step number 2, you're going to overlay the emotion into that line. That is going to signal your biology, your neurology, and your psychology that that thought is already real. Because there are studies that show that your mind and your brain cannot differentiate between imagination and reality. The particular emotion that you want to use is gratitude. Gratitude signals your biology, your neurology, and your psychology that you have already received it. So, associate that line, which is now the thought in present tense, with the emotion of gratitude. You are so grateful that the thought finally manifested. You can't even believe it. It's a miracle. You're living in the reality. Allow yourself to emotionally experience that thought that you just said in present tense as if it's already happened. Imagine the joy, the fulfillment, the bewilderment, the awe, the awesomeness of having manifested that thought. It's incredible. I'm so grateful. And focus that emotion into that line. Now, step 4. Pull your attention from that line. Release the line and intuitively feel the space around your head, around your entire body. There is no limits to this space, but don't try to intellectualize it. Just allow your intuition to feel the space in any way that works for you around your head and around your body. And associate that space, just like you associated the line with the thought in present tense and the emotion. Associate the space the same way. You are moving from particle to wave and programming the quantum field itself that thought has already manifested. And you are literally living in that reality right now. Feel the space and associate that attentional energy that is feeling the space with the present tense thought and the emotion. And the emotion is so important. The more that you can generate, the more you're going to bring that thought to life, and the more powerful of an imprint, the more powerful of a signal that you're going to be putting out there, that that thought is already real. Now, you're going to end the technique, you can call this step 5, by releasing everything and being quiet. You have no agenda. You are just remaining silent. You have released the thought, you have released the emotion, you have released the concepts of manifestation, everything. You are just sitting there and allowing everything to integrate. By remaining silent, you are allowing this interaction to subtleize itself down into your unconscious. You can remain silent for 1 second, 5 seconds, or however long you wish. Now, end the technique, relax, and open your eyes. Now, watch me for 1 second. I will show you how fast you can do this technique. Finished. It can be done that quickly, within few seconds. You can spend 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. You can spend extended periods of time doing this technique. You can do this technique after your morning meditation or chanting session and also your evening one as well. It is profound. And the more that you do this, what I have observed is the more integrated it becomes. And by integrated, that is defined as you no longer have to think the thought or feel the emotion or cue yourself. Everything begins to blend together and it subtleizes everything. For example, if you close your eyes and you feel your hand, you don't have to say to yourself, this is my hand, these are my fingers. It's so integrated that this is your hand, that it's an intuition that you already have just by putting your attention on it. Similarly, the more that you do this, you won't even have to think the thought. You will automatically put the line, you will have that emotional feeling, and that emotional feeling is associated with the thought itself. Now, these emotions are chemicals. You are biologically training your body with new chemicals, which are upregulating and downregulating certain genes and literally altering your genetic expression. It is changing your neurology and circuitry in your brain. So what you are doing is you are taking your body and neurology now, which is nothing but a record of your past, which allows you to wake up and think the same thoughts every day, which is dependent upon the chemicals your body is addicted to, whether that is fear, anger, worry, stress. These are chemicals and also thoughts, and they feed into one another. And what you're going to do is you're going to engineer the future reality biologically, neurologically, psychologically, and as a result, you're programming the quantum field that this thought is already real, and you will snap into it. Now, what I think happened on this day, why everything happened in such a short amount of time, is one thing that Dr. Pillai said recently. He told a student that he gives everybody blessings, but not all the time will the blessings work because of the person. So it's like we have all these blessings that are backed up, but because our default state is this very negative state that doesn't allow those blessings to flow through us and manifest. What happened was when I shifted my state into that state of gratitude, that ultimate state of reception, that these blessings started to pop and pour through. And I have to say, since this first experience that I shared about in the beginning of the video, my life has been a tornado of positive change. I have work opportunities coming at me from all directions to the point where I'm literally going to have to start turning stuff away because there's too much. And so just give this a try. There is a lot of science behind it. If you want to go learn about the science, go watch Joe Dispenza's videos. He has books. I personally just ordered 3 of them that arrived the other day that I'm looking forward to reading. I'm not a very big book person, but some books I will pick up and I will consume within a few sittings. Go watch his stuff. Go watch Dr. Pillai's videos about midbrain tapping. And there's a science behind all this that was synthesized into this that combines Joe Dispenza, midbrain tapping technology, Patanjali Samyama technique. Just take it for granted and give it a try. And you know what? Let the experience drive you. If you don't get any experiences, don't worry about it. But just try it. And the more that you do it, another thing about we talked about this integration is the more powerful the emotion, the more that you can draw this elevated emotions in the flip of a dime, where you don't have to work so hard to do it, where you can just immediately drop into this powerful elevated emotions. And what I've noticed is we're constantly trying to like manage our mind and stay positive, but I've noticed if you could almost put the mind aside and focus on maintaining your emotional state, that will be more powerful. It is more powerful to manage your mind and your default state in general. It'll be so much easier to remain in a state of happiness, joy, of fulfillment without requiring anything else, without getting triggered by external things if you can maintain your emotional state. So I hope this video makes sense, and I hope this gives you something that you can start taking away and using. Maybe it set off some light bulbs at the least that helped you connect some dots. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any requests, please leave a comment underneath this video. If you liked the video, make sure to click the like button, and also feel free to share with others who you think would find this video valuable too. As always, if you'd like to be notified for future videos, click subscribe and the bell notification. God bless.